Well, it looks like Phillippe Coutinho has been given, I don't really want to call it an olive branch, guys, because a player of his quality, it's hard to think that he was looking for a second chance somewhere. But of course, he's going from Barcelona to Bayern Munich on loan. Immediate reactions, yay or nay for this one?
From whose perspective? Because we talked about this. We had Jan-Åge Fjørtoft, the cult hero.
Name dropper.
I know. On the podcast, and we talked about this. And, you know, from Barcelona, it's a win because you move his wages off. Is obviously with Griezmann arriving as well. You've got Dembele there. His minutes are going to be limited this season. You move his wages off the bill for a season. Helps with amortization, everybody's favorite word. So that's fine. And he gets a big enough window that if he does well, maybe you can place him somewhere else. From Coutinho's perspective, a fresh start.
Yeah.
From Bayern's perspective, I don't get this. First of all, you already have a coach in Niko Kovac who, you know, nearly got fired at the end of last season. Second of all, Coutinho's best position is in the hole. You're running kind of into James' issue here. And if you play Coutinho in the hole, then that means you have to move Thomas Muller to the wing, which is, shall we say, suboptimal, especially when then you still have, in addition to Gnabry, who I presume will start every game, but you still have Kingsley Coman, you have Perisic, who you just bought. If you play, or you can go 4-1-4-1, the other, you know, some people suggested play Muller and Coutinho next to each other. Okay, great, but then who's your one?
Yeah.
And that means no Thiago Alcantara. Or if Thiago Alcantara plays on the back four, no defensive cover. You play, I mean, it just doesn't seem well thought out. I'm not sure Kovac has the authority or the mentality to go and handle this. So, yeah, it feels like a panic buy, doesn't it?
I mean, well confused as well, Jules?
Yeah, well done from Kia Joabshan to find Coutinho another big club to go to after what was a very disappointing 18 months at Barcelona, and I don't think that was easy. From Bayern point of view, like Gab said, it looks a bit like a panic reaction of like, okay, you know, we maybe haven't signed the players we wanted going forward, especially, and we've lost.
Shiny object.
Yeah,
go
and then, you know, because a loan for a club like Bayern is like, come on, man. You know, like.
Do you think it could lead to a permanent move then?
Maybe,
provided they find a spot for him.
He will need to adapt to the Bundesliga. You know, it's in a way similar a bit to the Premier League, and he did well in the Premier League, so there's no reason why. But let's see when winter hits, to start with, for example. Let's see after the 3-month winter break, when he goes back to Brazil and have a few parties and the carnival and comes back with a few extra kilos maybe. Ooh. Let's see once the FC Hollywood and when Kovac is sacked in November because they have won one game in 8.
So many headlines already.
But I think there's a lot of drama that can happen, and I'm not sure Coutinho performs well in that kind of environment. That's it.
And I think there's another point to be made here. People saw that Bayern have an option to buy for 120 million euros. Okay, so 120 million euros for a guy who's 28 years old, which was going to be next summer, is just absolutely demented, right? So that's not going to happen. So Bayern are thinking, he comes here, he does well, he loves it, he starts wearing the lederhosen, and
Oktoberfest, you know,
exactly.
Yeah, we should go.
And he says, no, I want to stay, and then Bayern negotiate a price with Barcelona because they're not going to have 120 million, but they'll negotiate a deep discount. Barcelona's like, all right, bye-bye, see ya, right? But if he does really well, and Barcelona are like, hey, come back, Bayern may have the option to buy, but what people often forget in this is Coutinho has to agree.
Yes.
So if Coutinho says, if Bayern say, like, oh, here's 120 million, we'll take him because now suddenly he's a 200 million euro player.
He can say,
no. You know, so these option to buy deal numbers, bit screwy.
And before we go, just let's say we put the drama that Jules is already predicting in his crystal ball aside, and we look at it like how Gab is saying, and maybe, you know, he's chilling at Oktoberfest, loving life in Germany, things probably could go to something more permanent. Would this put Bayern in the upper echelon of Champions League contenders? Because definitely they are contenders, but right up there with the cities, the Madrids, the Barcelonas.
No.
I don't think so. I mean, one, they need
Simple
Lewandowski to stay fit and scoring the whole season, because if anything happens to him, there's no one behind. I mean, Müller, I guess, is the replacement, but he's not the centre forward that they would need.
Freaking Alphonso Davies came on Friday.
Well, yeah, you know, they have faith in him.
Trying to find.
I'm not sure they do.
So forget about it.
I mean, Lewandowski. And then it depends a lot on Coutinho, because what we saw on Friday, in the opening game where they were very average. They lack a lot of creativity, let's be fair, and I think he can bring that. But again, it's what kind of Coutinho are they going to get? Are they going to get the good one from some of the times at Liverpool, or the rubbish one that they saw at the Camp Nou for far too long?
Ooh,
And
harsh.
by the way, about the other signings, I mean, like they'll be in the mix. They'll be in, there's 10 teams that can win, they get the knockouts, whatever. But on Yannick Fjortoft, who came on our podcast, had a
Name drop again.
exactly.
Watch how you talk about my brothers. Are you going to talk about my brothers right now? Are you going to talk about the French?
He did mention not a fan of Pavard at center back. He said he's exactly the
Let's
kind of
move
center
on.
back
Let's
I would have
move on.
wanted to play against.
Jules is not having that. Jules is not having that. So, well, plenty to talk about in the Bundesliga this season, and a lot of eyes, especially these two very critical eyes, will be on a certain Phillippe Coutinho.